All right, today we're breaking down one of the most powerful motivational speeches you'll ever hear from the one and only Denzel Washington. We're going to dig into his masterclass on taking risks, dealing with failure, and really finding your purpose. Denzel kicks the whole thing off with this incredible quote from Nelson Mandela. And it's a direct challenge right out of the gate. Don't settle, don't play it small. This one idea is really the foundation for everything else he's about to say. So, where do we start? Well, Denzel's first big idea is that a worthwhile life, a truly meaningful one, is built on taking big risks. He goes right after that piece of advice we've all heard a million times, right? The safe path, the backup plan. But Denzel wants to totally question the thinking behind that. And here's where he flips the script. Instead of falling back on something, he says fall forward. I love this. Think about it. Falling back is a retreat. You're moving away from your passion, and you can't even see where you're going to land. But falling forward, that's a move towards the next opportunity. You can see the impact, you can learn from it. It's all about progress, even when you fail. And to really drive this home, he uses this classic puzzle. You've probably seen it, the 9-dot puzzle. The only way to solve it, you literally have to draw lines outside the confines of the dots. It's a perfect metaphor for his whole message. Go big, dream big, and don't be afraid to think beyond the boring boundaries everyone else stays inside. Okay, so this whole idea of taking big risks, it naturally leads to the next big question, right? What happens when you fail? Because let's be real, you will fail. So what happens when you don't stick the landing? And Denzel, he does not pull any punches here. He's so direct. He basically says, look, failure isn't a possibility. It's a guarantee. You are going to lose, you are going to embarrass yourself, you are going to totally suck at something. And his whole point is, you have to embrace it. To make his point, he brings up the baseball legend Reggie Jackson. This number, 2,600, that's how many times he struck out. That is the most in the entire history of Major League Baseball. But here's the kicker. Nobody ever talks about the strikeouts, do they? No. People remember the home runs. His successes are what define his legacy. The failures were just part of the process of getting there. And he's got another great example, Thomas Edison. This number, 1,000. That's how many failed experiments he conducted trying to create a working light bulb. 1,000 failed attempts. But see, that's the heart of it. Those 1,000 failures weren't the end. The 1,001st try, that was the light bulb. Every single one of those experiments wasn't a dead end. It was a necessary step, a lesson learned. It was one step closer to success. That is falling forward. And, Denzel isn't just talking the talk. He has lived this. Early in his career, he auditions for a musical at the Court Theater and fails. Bombs it because he can't sing. He didn't get the job. But he kept going. 30 years later, he's back at that exact same theater, this time starring in the award-winning play Fences. He wraps this whole section up with this one incredible line. It just completely reframes how we should look at failure. A life without any failure isn't a sign that you're perfect. It's a sign that you're not even trying. Okay, so we have to take risks and we have to embrace failure. But all that effort needs to go somewhere, right? This brings us to Denzel's third major point. The huge difference between having dreams and setting goals. And man, this is such a critical distinction. A dream, he says, is just a wish floating out there. It's passive. A goal, on the other hand, is a dream with a plan. It's a dream with a deadline. It's active. And without those goals, dreams just lead to disappointment. And again, he uses his own life as a perfect example. I mean, look at this path. It was anything but a straight line. He started out pre-med, couldn't pass a class he couldn't even pronounce, so he switched to pre-law, then he moved to journalism. His GPA tanked to a 1.8, and he was basically asked to take some time off school. He literally had to fail his way into finding the right path for him. And it was right there, at his lowest point, working in his mom's beauty shop, that this pivotal moment happened. A woman he didn't even know gave him the spiritual prophecy, telling him that he would travel the world and speak to millions. And that one unexpected moment gave him a new dream that he could finally turn into a real goal. And this brings us to the final and maybe the most profound part of his message. After you've taken the risks, failed forward, and turned those dreams into goals, what's it all for? Well, Denzel argues it's about moving beyond just yourself. The whole focus of the speech completely shifts here. It's not just about your personal success or your career anymore. It's about your contribution. He reminds us that the world has a lot of problems, and we all have a part to play in helping to fix them. He makes it really clear that contributing isn't just about money. It's about everything you have to offer. What are you going to do with your unique gifts? Your time, your talent, your kindness, your patience? The ultimate question isn't how much do you have, but what are you going to do with what you have? To make this idea absolutely unforgettable, he asks us to do this very powerful thought experiment. Just picture yourself for a second at the very end of your life, lying on your deathbed. And then he asks this haunting question. He says, standing around your bed are the ghosts of your unfulfilled potential, the ghosts of the ideas you never acted on, the talents you never used. And they're angry because you could have brought them to life, but you didn't. And now they have to go to the grave with you. So the final challenge Denzel leaves us with is this. What are you going to do to make sure those ghosts aren't standing around your bed?